Welcome, friends. Shabbat Shalom. Before we begin our worship tonight, I'm going to call up Cynthia, who has a few words for our congregation.
Someone who is connected to the American Jewish Committee to read the poetry that was written by its Director of Interreligious Affairs, and her name is Rabbi Noam Morans. So it begins like this: in times of sorrow, our unity becomes a source of resilience and hope. Sarah and Yaron, beloved and cherished, never parted in life or in death. We feel them as the inextricable connection between American and Israeli Jews. Their love, like ours, knows no Jewish geographic boundaries. They were brought together through the gift of the State of Israel and its transformation of Jewish history. Israel means the Jewish people will never again be powerless, and yet the sacrifices are enormous. Our modern American Jewish chronicle of pain has a new locus: Pittsburgh, Poway, Muncie, Jersey City, now Washington, D.C., and innumerable anti-Semitic attacks, too many to list, in Brooklyn, on campuses, and beyond. Our young people had gathered to do good. 2 of them gunned down by evil, their and their families' lives shattered. Anti-Semitism is not just a Jewish problem. It is a blemish on the civilized world. It requires a whole of society response. To the world we say, are you with us? Our Jewish fear is real. Our Jewish resilience steadfast. Our Jewish pride unbreakable. Am Yisrael Chai. Excuse me, there's someone talking. Am Yisrael Chai. The Jewish people live on. May the memory of Sarah and Yaron be for a blessing. May it be God's will.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. And just to add, what we're doing here tonight, being here together and praying, is what the people who want to spread the evil and do these evil deeds don't want. So to see you here today is affirming to me. It makes me proud, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to services tonight to join together to pray, hopefully in a cathartic way. And we begin with Hine Matov on page 10. How lovely it is, How lovely today is Shabbat. Let's sing together in unity and in togetherness.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Friends, let's turn back to page 8. We'll read together, page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy and illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. It's my honor to call up Maggie, who will light and lead the blessing over our Shabbat candles. We are on page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Maggie. Yashacharach. Friends, we turn to page 20 to welcome the Sabbath bride. L'chadodi, the last stanza. I'll motion you. Please stand. We'll face the front of our sanctuary to welcome the Sabbath bride. Page 20, we sing together.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha. Meirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'makshavat tehila. Lecha tuti, lecha tuti likrat kala, peni Shabbat nekabela. Lecha tuti likrat kala, peni Shabbat nekabela.
So face the front of our sanctuary.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emune am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha tuti, lecha tuti likrat kala, peni Shabbat nekabela. Lecha tuti likrat kala, peni Shabbat nekabela.
Page 22, bottom of the page. Let's read together in the English. Page 22. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Friends, we turn to page 26. Please join in the responses to the Chatzei Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, b'yamad yivrach u'tev yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'chaye dechobet Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, thimeru, amen. Yeshme rabba mevorach, le'olam u'yom e'omaya, yitbarak, yitbarak, v'yishtabak, v'yipar, v'ytroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithale, v'yithalal, Shemeda Kudesha Brechu, Leila Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Damihiran V'Alma, Nimeru, Amen. Page 27, we read together, middle of the page. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. If we're able, please rise as the ark is opened on page 28, the call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch
Thank you. Yasha Koach. You may be seated. Page 29, let's read responsively, middle of the page. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. O let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Page 31. Middle of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim. We turn to page 32 and we sing together at the top of the page a song of everlasting love, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu, uvkumenu nasiat behukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orek yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael.
We read together, top of page 33, as a gateway to the Shema about the Torah. Page 33, top of the page. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. If we're able, please rise for the Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam
We'll continue together as a community, top of page 36, V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bevetecha uv'lektecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha leman tizkiru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedushim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 41. Let's read together at the top of the page. Sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home, leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We join together on page 40, singing Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam zeli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Page 43. Let's read together, top of the page together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei suchat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We'll join together on page 44 with Angela and Dwight, Vishamru. Let's sing together.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'nei uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et Sheshet Yamim, Asadonai, Asadonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael, et hashabat, la'asot et hashabat, l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat, la'asot et hashabat, l'dorotam berit olam.
Let's read together at the top of page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. And friends, before we rise for the Amidah, I would like everyone to pray this evening with more conviction, with more meaning, and to remember that we are the living testament of thousands and thousands of years of our people. So if you are able, the ark is opened. We'll rise, page 46, for the tefillah. Thank you. Adonai sifata tiftach ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi gula lifnei v'nechem, le'man shemo b'yahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, v'yitzrat Sarah, page 50. Atagi bor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah rav le'yoshia, morid hatal, mechachel chaim v'chesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech nofim v'rofech oholim, umatir asurim, Umechaye emunato lishenei afar, micha mocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memir umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman nata lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Page 52. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may close the ark. Thank you. You may have a seat. Friends, page 53, let's read the English in the middle of the page, 53. Where might I go to find you, exalted hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 54. Very middle of the page, the English between the Hebrew. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Page 57. Top of the page, under the Hebrew. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yira na'avod. And a reading of peace on page 59, middle of the page. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars you set in place, we are the humans that you are mindful of us. We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. Friends, we'll take a few moments of silent devotion, silent prayer, and we'll continue back on page 60 with the singing of Shalom Rav. A few moments of silence. Please turn to page 60 and let's join together.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom.
Please join us.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. נשים לעולם.
We ask for peace, and on page 253, we ask for healing for both those in need of healing and their caretakers. Page 253. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Bishop Emeritus Curtis Guillory, Robert Kraft, Lawson Helms, Eleanor Crum, Don Berger, Joel Berger, Charmaine Berry, Mark Fertitta, David Fertitta, Mike Mayfield, Marilyn Manson Hayes, Stephen Diamond, Allison Louise Dodson, Pamela Rodriguez, Patsy Spivey, Rita Davis, Al Dugan, anyone still recovering from the horrific California fires, and the hostages in Gaza, Pam Williams, Dan Neal, Father Michael Pavez, and also the families of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. May they find swift healing. And we're going to also go around the room. If anyone else is in need of healing or knows of a friend or family member who is, please say his or her name out loud. We'll start in the top of front of the rows. No? Deanne, anybody? Anybody else in the middle? Okay, this side back there. Anybody? Okay. George Simon. Let us sing for healing together as a community, the middle of page 253 with Misha Berach.
Berach Avotenu Makor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
May the Blessed One, holy, be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say together, Amen. Years ago, in the village of Pinsk, there lived a man named Shmuel. Now, Shmuel wasn't a bad man. He meant well, but everything he did ended in a mild disaster. Let's just say his nickname, Shmuel the Shlemazel, wasn't totally unwarranted. One day, Shmuel decided he was going to build the grandest house the shtetl had ever seen. You see, he came into a bit of money. It would have a balcony. It would have a cellar. It would have a working toilet. He bought wood. He bought nails. He even borrowed his cousin's donkey. But he had a problem. Right in the middle of the land stood a tree, a big tree, a beautiful tree, an ancient oak. Birds lived in it, children climbed on it, Even the local rabbi leaned on it for shade when telling stories. But Shmuel wanted it gone. He wanted to chop it down. He tried an axe, but it bounced off. He tried a saw, it broke in two. He even hired the town's strongest man, William, who strained for 3 hours to no avail. Frustrated, Shmuel did the only logical thing. He called a town meeting. "My friends," he said, standing on a crate, "this tree, it mocks me. It refuses to move. It will not be chopped down. It blocks my dream house, my dreams. What should I do?" And so Shmuel prepared a legal case, and the trial was held in the village square. Shmuel presented his arguments. The tree was uncooperative. It wouldn't allow itself to be cut down so he could build his new home. It was very unfair. Then the rabbi asked, "And what does the tree say in its defense?" There was silence. And Shmuel laughed. "Rabbi, it's a tree. It doesn't speak." The rabbi nodded. "Exactly, Shmuel. It doesn't need to. It just is. That's what trees do. They grow. They shade. They're constant. They sustain us. They stay. Maybe, Shmuel, you are the one that's in the wrong place." Shmuel looked confused, and he paused for quite a while. He looked at the majestic tree for a long time, strong, silent, full of birds, and he went home to ponder what his next move would be. The next morning, very early, the townspeople saw Shmuel building the frame of his new home, but in a circle, with the tree standing right in the middle. You see, Shmuel thought all night and decided not to displace the tree from its home, but rather craft his home around it. He followed the contours of the great oak's roots. He carved windows to frame its branches. He even constructed a spiral staircase that curved lovingly around the trunk, leading to a loft nestled among the limbs. As the years passed, the tree and the house grew together. Vines crept over the walls like careful stitches. Birds nested in the eaves, and squirrels ran across the beams as though they had always lived there. In the fall, leaves would drift through the open windows. The floor would be carpeted by the leaves of amber and gold. Shmuel became the most popular man in town, with everyone asking to visit or to come over for Shabbat. Children were wide-eyed and silent, watching the sunlight stream through the branches onto the floor and climbing limb to limb. Adults came too, remembering the scent of leaves from their youth. Slowly, the laughter that once mocked Shmuel turned to awe. When storms came, the tree stood firm, the strength lending itself to the house. When summer came, the leaves shaded his home like a loyal guardian. Over time, it became a place of quiet pilgrimage, a sanctuary, built not just around a tree, but with a tree. Years later, the home was empty. The wood started to crumble, but the tree remained. Legend has it that if you listened on a windless day, you might still hear the floorboards creak on the leaves. The leaves would rustle with stories. Some say the tree remembered Shmuel. Some say the tree loved him back. Friends, this week's double parsha, Behar Bechukotai, invites us into one of the Torah's visions of holiness, a society rooted not only in ritual purity, but in economic justice, environmental sustainability, and covenantal responsibility. The portion opens with the laws of Shemitah, the 7-year sabbatical year, and Yovel, the 50-year Jubilee year. And as I say every week, if you want to know more, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Torah Study. During the Shemitah, every 7 years, the land must rest. Debts and loans are forgiven, and people, regardless of class or economic status, can eat freely from what the earth provides. During the Jubilee year, every 50th year, not only must the land reset again, but ancestral lands return to their original family owners, and slaves go free. These are not just agricultural laws, they are bold proclamations of values. At the very beginning of this week's Parsha, the text reminds us that God instructed Moses at Mount Sinai, saying, "Speak to the Israelites. You must say to them, when you enter the land that I am giving you, the land must rest on an agricultural Sabbath in honor of God. You may sow your field for 6 years, and you may prune your vineyard for 6 years. gathering in the land's produce, but in the seventh year, the land must be given a complete rest. This is its Sabbath in honor of your God. You must not sow your field, nor may you prune your vineyard. So we ask ourselves, what do economic and agricultural laws have to do with Mount Sinai, the peak of spiritual revelation? As we always say at our temple, friends, and which we did read a little earlier, wherever Jews are praying together, they do so in a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace. We know that holiness is not confined to this sanctuary, but it must transform the field, the community, the marketplace, and the home. Mount Sinai is not just the place where we were given the Torah. It's the model for a society that honors God through limits, cycles, justice, and rest. In our contemporary fast-moving society, we often talk about the importance of stopping to smell the roses. But the words of this week's portion go a step further, that we should stop and let the roses grow. And this isn't just ancient idealism, no. Today it challenges us to ask, what are we producing as a society? And at what cost? In the modern era, the Torah reminds us that rest is holy, that accumulation must be tempered by restraint, and that we are custodians of the land. We are tenants of the land. The Shemitah, or sabbatical seventh year, makes us take a break. The Yovel, or the 50-year Jubilee, is a reset button. We've all seen those buttons at Staples. Yes, no, this is a big red reset button for the land. Every 50 years, slaves are freed, the land is returned. Why? Because as God says in Leviticus chapter 25, verse 23, "For the land is mine. You are but strangers and sojourners with me." In our world where generational poverty and injustice persist, maybe it's encouraging us to reset the system, rehumanize the vulnerable, restore dignity. Friends, in closing, as we're coming to the end of the book of Leviticus, we are left with a vision of holiness that transcends this beautiful sanctuary. From Mount Sinai to the fields, from personal vows to collective justice, from the workplace to our home, we are instructed to sanctify time, space, society, and the land. May we all have that tree in the middle of our home to hold it together, to hold our families together, to hold us together as Jews. In a world that is increasingly driven by consumption, profit, and production, the Torah reminds us in this portion that we are indeed stewards of the land. The land needs a rest just like we do. And so the laws and statutes of Shemitah and Yovel, the sabbatical and Jubilee years, are not relics of a forgotten past. They can also be blueprints for looking towards the future. We follow these statutes not because we have to, my friends, but because we are partners with God in the sacred work of justice and creation. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and let us strengthen one another. Shabbat shalom. Cynthia? Thank you.
Shabbat shalom. Our hostesses tonight are Candace Holder and Maggie Harris. I want to thank Maggie for blessing the candles tonight. And I want to also thank Maggie and Caleb for sharing the mitzvah of opening and closing the ark by sitting on the bema tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rabbi, from Strong Trees Grow. Amazing stories, and we appreciate the story that you told us tonight. I don't know where you find those stories. I don't know if it's somebody that has a book of stories.
No,
or
Cynthia, I wrote them all.
Okay. Well, you sound a little like Shmuel then, so we can't believe that. So we appreciate the fact that you tell the stories to us, and that they hold true to the Torah, bless the Torah, the parsha of the Torah each week. So thank you so very much. I also want to thank Angela and Dwight for providing the music. We've missed you, Angela and Dwight. We're glad you're back. I know you took a little bit of a break still tonight. You're not quite up to using your voice in all the ways that everyone likes to hear it. But I do want to tell you that Maggie was harmonizing beautifully with you, so I was able to hear her and hear you, and it was just beautiful to hear the combination of the sounds. At some point, Rabbi's going to begin a congregational choir, and I'm going to sign a few people up, if that's okay, Rabbi?
Yeah, sure.
Because I know who can keep the harmony going. I know who the bass voices there are. I know who wants to sing quietly, but they do sing, and we can make a beautiful set of voices coming together in our sanctuary. Rabbi will be having Torah study, as he told you, a little bit about what would be discussed tomorrow. This office is closed, as it reads in here. It's Memorial Day, so if you are doing anything out on the road, be careful, and even at home, be careful. It might be inclement weather, so be careful as you drive, and it might be a lot of sunshine, so be careful when you're out in the elements. Rabbi will be back next week, and again, we'll have services as well as Torah study. I don't know if anyone has brought anything recently to the box that's in the foyer of the social hall, but we're collecting clean, gently used men's clothing. So if you'll put them in that box, you can include the hanger if you want to, because they might go from that box into someone's closet. So thank you very much. I have no other announcements tonight, just Shabbat Shalom, and be safe over this weekend.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. We now turn to page 278 for the counting of the Omer, page 278. And I'd like to give you a little refresher every week if we have any friends who weren't here last week. The 49-day period starting after Passover and ending just before Shavuot is called the counting of the Omer. It involves counting each day as it passes, marking the period between the offering of the Omer, a measure of barley, in the temple and the subsequent offering of the first harvest of wheat on Shavuot. The counting is viewed as a period of spiritual preparation and a way to connect with the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai on Shavuot. Each day of the Omer is associated with its own unique combination of sfirot, divine attributes, that relate to emotional and practical aspects of the spiritual world. Tonight being the 41st day of the counting of the Omer, focusing on Yesod Shebe Yesod, which translates to foundation through foundation, a tricky one. So we're going to have everyone take one moment to think about foundation through foundation and what that could possibly mean to you. Just take a moment. To me, foundation through foundation means the foundation that we set, our values and our temple community, through the foundation of the greater global Jewish community and through the history of the Jews. So it is very nice. So we're going to continue on page 278. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom arbaim ve'echad yom shehem hamesh shavuot v'shesh yamim la'omer, which translates as today is the 41st day, which is 5 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Now, friends, if you're able, please rise as the ark is open on page 259 for the prayer for the state of Israel, page 259.
Avinu, Avinu,
bottom of the page, we read in the English, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy who dwelt there. Amen. We remain standing on page 282, middle of the page, the Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, la tekedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot hadama, shelo sam chelchenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu chorim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287.
V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihye Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We can shut the ark, please. Friends, we'll remain standing. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We observe the period of Shloshim for Pope Francis, Linda Erickson, sister of Joe Nordgren. We mark the art sites of Zach Jacobs, Sophie Begelman, Asher Herman, Marian Edelstein, Edith Catherine Hay, Helen Oren, Kate Kramer, Madeline Glober, Abraham Sadoff, Leon Terrace, Beatrice Tervitsky, Louis Sokolsky, J. Cecil Crater, Frida Mushlin, Ginger Greenberg, Charles Lantos, Ruth Steele, Moses Schwartz, Simon Walker, Barnett Greenberg, Lena Kaplan-Mykoff, and of course, we remember the names of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgren. Let us go around the sanctuary. If anyone else would like to say someone's name out loud, please do so now. Anybody in the back of the room? Outside? Anybody? Dorothy Clayman. We join together as a community on page 294 together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kari v'imru amen, yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, yiparak v'yishtabach, yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal, Shemei Kudisha Brechu, La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tishvachata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlaba rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael Imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and all Israel, to which we say, amen. And friends, before our closing song, I did want to impart a short blessing on you tonight, because I think we all need a little blessing tonight. Barchi nafshi et Adonai, Adonai Elohai, gedalta me'od, hod vehadar levashta, ote or ka'esama, note shamayim kairia. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who wraps the heavens in light and clothes his children in splendor. Surround all of us in this sanctuary tonight with the radiance of your Shekhinah. Shield us with the beauty of your holiness. Amen. And let us close on page, let's see, Ein Kelohenu, but I don't have the page number, so we're going to have a little race to see who can find it first. Some of you are experts. 322. Ein Kelohenu, everybody.
En Kelohenu, en Gadonenu, en Kamalkenu, en Kamoshienu, mich Elohenu, mich Adonenu, mich Malkenu, mich Moshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We'll see you downstairs for our blessings.